We're gonna work on, oh good, everybody fit in one screen. We're gonna really work on our feet today, and we're gonna learn about our feet, and we're gonna learn how to massage our feet without hurting our fingers. Okay, so where's my note? Today we are going to start with reviewing the warm-up exercise for your feet. So you could either have your feet up on your second chair, or back up a little. Like, take my socks off. So, or you can just keep this off the floor, whichever you're comfortable with. And make sure if you have two different height for your footstool or a chair, make sure your foot is lower than your hips. Okay. Are we ready? Okay. Now we're going to start with just pointing and flexing our ankles first. Okay. One leg up or one leg off the floor. Okay. Ready? You're going to go point and flex. Nice and gentle. 10 times. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The reason why we're doing one at a time is that to give you a space for your foot to go in and out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you're going to do circles. 1, 2, 3, 10 times. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's switch. The other foot goes up. Okay, ready? We're gonna do point and flex. Ready? Point and flex. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Side to side rotate. In, out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And get your both feet up. So now remember the foot fist we talked about? So when you're making a fist, I'm gonna come up a little. So you see the knuckles, right? So the structurally, our feet and our hands are about very similar. So see this, wish this is a little more flexible, but this part, let's see, this part of the foot is right here. When you close your toes, do you feel, got the cramp on my feet, do you feel the bumps coming up? Let's see, on your feet, right along here. That's the equivalent of the knuckles. That makes sense? So let's explore. Just have one side up. Just feel your feet and your toes, and they have joints just like your fingers, right? And notice that your thumbs just have one joint in the finger, right? But the other fingers have two joints, right? So just one for the thumb, two for the rest of the fingers. That's exactly the same with your feet. So your big toe only have one joint, right? But the other ones, even the little pinky toes, it's kind of hard to tell, has two joints. Just notice that. Did you know that you have two joints in little toes? So, and feel the gaps between your toes, which is, you can see, and so these, try to feel the spaces between the toes. Okay, come from in between your toes and feel that little gap. And you feel a little depression, right? So in between the bones, there's a little meaty part, right? And try to wiggle your toes, and they can all do this, right? And feel around your ankles. You have two bumps, one in inside and one in other side, right? Feel that? So they are, so do you know there's two bones? This is, let's see, this is the left foot. Wait, yeah, that's a left foot. So, so that's the bump right here, and this right here, right? Okay, just like that. So those are the end of the bones. So the bigger bone, which is inside of your foot this way, is the tibia. That's the shin bone. That's when it hurts, when you bump on something. The skinny one right here is fibula, which you kind of have to like go in deep to feel it. But the fibula end is the outside bump. The tibia end is the medial part of the medial bump. So that's just like, you know, the end of the bone. It's not just a bump, it's connected all the way. to here. So see how your foot is connected to everything above? Kind of nice to know. So when you work on your feet and you keep your feet healthy, you can be healthy. So now let's go back to looking at stuff. I am going to share screen and talk about foot, feet, and legs a little more. Let's see. Hey. Wait, do you have any questions before we move on? We good?
So
What is it?
those two bones are on either side. That's not one bone, huh?
Oh, yeah. So one side, one bump is the end of one bone that runs outside of the leg. That's fibula.
Right.
Inside bump is the tibia. It's your shin bone. That's the
Okay,
end of your
great.
shin bone. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
They are the head of fibula and tibia. Okay, I am going to share screen. Okay. Ooh, right. Okay. So we're going to talk about the self-massage techniques today and a lot of feet stuff and the legs and learn more about the structures. Let me expand a little more. Okay. So okay, so here is the map of the since we've been talking about Chinese medicine, I wanted to show you where some of the meridians are. The spleen. So the spleen, liver, stomach, gallbladder, and urinary bladder all start on your toes. So, did I say stomach? Sorry, this is spleen. So basically, okay, let's go from the spleen. Spleen, you can't see it from the top, but the spleen channel runs along the side of the inside of your feet, and the urinary bladder channel runs along the outside edges of your foot. So the spleen channel runs up kind of in the mid, close to the midline of your body, and goes to your chest area. And the urinary bladder is the longest channel. So this goes along the side on the pinky side of your foot, goes up to the mid foot outside. Then it shifts, goes all the way up, move to the calf area and runs all the way up to actually it starts from the head next to your eyes and goes all the way down. Actually, it ends at the on the pinky area. So spleen starts, so that's spleen 1 there. This is UB67. That's the end of the channel. So some starts from the top and some starts from the bottom. The liver channel, this is liver 1. Liver channel starts in the middle, inside of your big toe area, and it runs, so these are all liver channel. runs up this way, and mid-foot, it crosses and runs up inside of your leg, goes to the genital area, and ends in the costal, like the ribs area. So the stomach channel starts, kind of in the, I lost all the stomach channel, goes in the middle of the foot, kind of like runs up, kind of like in the front, but toward the outside of the legs, and goes up and up in the face area. Gallbladders. So basically, the gallbladder and the urinary bladder channel starts to run on the side of the body and the back of the body. So depending on, you could kind of explore your feet. If you have back issues, sometimes you're going to feel some tenderness or pain or some feel good point on the side of your foot sometimes, because those are the distal points of the back and the side, and sometimes on the head area. So that's something that you could explore and kind of notice as you work on your feet. So, and here is the bone, and different colors, so you could see how we were talking about. So the distal phalanges, so the this is the metatarsal. Our hands, the equivalent of metatarsal in our hands are called metacarpal, right? Carpal is the hand or the wrist, right? So your feet, so this is how your toes are. Okay. So this joints are when you crunch your toes. That's the this fist equivalent of your feet. And as we talked about, there are 3 sections, right? So first, second, and third. So 3 sections on the second to the 5th toes, and only 2 joints on your big toes, just like your thumbs. Okay. So I think that's enough of that here. And here is just to show you. So this is your knee, right? This is your knee. That's in your kneecap. So outside of the foot, that's fibula, and that's the bumps that we were talking about earlier. So this is fibula, this is tibia, fibula and tibia, and tibialis is the where you get the shin splints. It's the meaty part of your shin. And you see this edgy part right here? Maybe you could see here. This is where your shin bone is. That's where you hit against the hard surface and it hurts really bad. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you, and I am going to stop share. Any questions so far? We're doing good. Do we know everything about our feet now?
Good. I have a question.
Yeah,
The,
go ahead.
the one to the third toe, the middle toe doesn't have any points.
Yes, that is true. So between the big toe, inside of the big toe is a spleen that runs here. River runs between the first and second. Between second and third, that's the stomach line. And it skips it. Nothing runs between here. I mean, nothing major runs between. There's always some collaterals and connecting stuff that runs everywhere to fill the blanks. But the between the fourth and fifth is the gallbladder, and outside of your pinky toe is the urinary bladder.
I wonder if there's any reason for that, or just they ran out of points.
I think that's what they found. And there are also like extra points that is not part of the major meridians, but it's, you know, we're doing the 12, what do you call it, primary meridians.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. So is everybody comfortable with touching your feet, doing the massage, reaching your feet? Yes? Okay. Okay. So, and I'm going to talk about the massage techniques, because when you're working with your feet, with your hands, it sometimes gets really hard. And the one side, see my thumb? This thumb is more flexible than this thumb. So do not push this way. Make sure it's always at the tip. So do not push anything this way, because that's going to hurt your joint. That's one important thing. There's always, you should always support your thumb if you're doing some kind of massage or pushing. Make sure it's not completely independent. Always have the other fingers supporting, or the other thumbs supporting. You can always use your knuckles to work, or if you can reach it, your elbows. If you can reach your elbows to your arches, you could do that too. And it's useful to have a good lotion or oil or cream. I like the shea butter. It's not, because it's not too syrupy, but it gives you enough to, and it's not too hard. So I like it for the feet. And it is, first, it's really hard. Well, I lost something. But so you have to like scrape it. But once you scrape it, I'm putting it in the other container so I'm not contaminating my cream. But once you warm it, it spreads really nicely. So I like the shea butter. So, and you don't need that much, but anyway, so when you are applying lotion or moisturizer, always make sure you're warming it in your palm. Okay, and I'm gonna switch to, can you see? Okay.
Theo, I assume if you have tight hamstrings or calves, you could massage your feet by just crossing your legs in a seated position.
Yes.
Okay.
So make sure find the most comfortable position. Okay. And now I'm gonna apply it on the top of your foot, around your ankles, just go around your malleoluses, malleoli, I guess. And you could pinch your Achilles tendon area. Okay. Now lift the top of the foot and use the heel of your palm. Just gently push your toes in. You guys doing okay? Okay. And remember those between places, gently kind of rub in between places, go in between your toes. Okay, now we're gonna work on, you see, okay, work on your toes. So one at a time, just kind of going on up and down. Make sure you're comfortable separating your toes. You could just roll it gently, just get them ready to move. You're kind of rolling your toes, moving them, just saying hello, one at a time. So make sure you are going in between your little toes. Okay, I'm on the fourth one, the bottom, at the side. Wiggle them, maybe roll them if that's comfortable. On the last, the pinky toe. Okay, now I'm gonna grab the two bone area, one side, the other side, and you are gently gonna shift up and down, up and down. Okay, so the first and second, up and down, up and down. So you're doing this. And the second and third, going like this, up and down, up and down. Third and fourth, up and down, up and down. Fourth and fifth, up and down, up and down. Okay. Now push forward and pull. So you're doing this with your foot. Push forward. So see that foot fist, and kind of pull your toes back. Gently push forward, pull back, push forward, pull back, push forward, back, push forward, pull back. So we did the movement forward and back. Now you are going to round your foot this way, and this way. So pull out and pull in. So outward, inward, outward, inward, outward, out, and in. Okay, so let's try on the other side. How you guys doing?
Okay.
Working good? Good, good. Okay. On.
Could you also show, if you can't put your foot straight out, if you have your foot sideways,
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's the same.
Yeah. You just need to, maybe you have to go this way instead of this way.
Yeah.
So have the heel, but
And your hands would be upside the
yeah,
other way.
but you can just work the same muscles.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm gonna go this way then. Okay, so on the other foot, make sure your massage cream is warm. And we're gonna start with the top. I'm gonna go sideways on this side. Okay, the top of the foot, and work on your ankles. So work around the malleoli and the Achilles tendon area. Okay. And now let's work on the toes. Just massage or whatever you're comfortable with in between your toes, top of the toes. You could wiggle them, move them, just say hello. Okay, move on to the second toes. So the top on the side, move them, wiggle them, and feel all the joints moving. Okay, on the third one, work the side of the toes, the top, move them, say hello. Okay, fourth toes. I don't know if you can see me. Okay, move them. And the pinky toe. Move them. Okay. So now, from when you have your feet up, so you go forward and back, forward and back. When you're on the sideways, you could work, I guess, this way, forward and back, or you could just do both hands like this, forward, back, forward, back. So you want to find your own way. Okay, now you are going to go in between, right? So between all these, between the bones, just slide your fingers. So you could go sideways this way or the top. Okay, now you're gonna go out, in. So you're gonna go this way and this way. Okay, when you're sideways, you go this way, you go this way. So gently, don't push too much. Okay. Now we warm up both feet. Okay, let's check in. How we doing?
Happy feet.
Good. I love it.
Akiyo, what are those little tiny, tiny spidery veins at our ankles? They're blue.
Oh,
Little teeny squiggly lines.
those are, I think, like the mini spider veins, right?
Yeah.
So if you apply a gentle upward movement gently, that can help bring back all the mini.
They disappear.
Yeah, they might, they may not, but they can.
I think it's an age
Yeah.
thing too. It's just from being on our feet so many years.
Yep, yep.
I know you don't have any. Your feet are so white.
I do. It's just from my camera is not that great, but I do see it. I do see it in here. But I think those are like the purple in Chinese medicine, that's cold and it's blood stagnation. So if you warm it and if you increase circulation, it might improve. You never know.
Oh,
Thank you.
Sure.
actually, it does when you're just right now when you're rubbing it.
Yeah, so if you're rubbing it toward your head, yeah. Because basically the veins doesn't have the muscles to doesn't have their own muscle system to bring the blood back up. So you have to use any kind of your own muscles or the having your feet up, so you're physically draining the bringing the blood back to your heart. So if you keep your feet warm or lift your feet, can help.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, are we good?
Good.
And are we comfortable working on our feet?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we try to do little circles. Remember this one? You're interlacing, you're doing this with but one hand, one foot. Remember that one? So 4 fingers, take 4 fingers, one goes in between first and second, third and fourth, fourth and fifth. It's like praying with one foot and one hand. Make sure this doesn't hurt. So maybe beginning, it's maybe just right at the tip. So it may not go all the way in. Are we doing okay?
Yep.
Okay. Now you're going to, can you go sideways like this? Okay. Now you are going to guide with your hand into circles. When you do the circles, make sure you're not just using your arms. Okay. So you are using entire body. So you're not just using your arms. So you want to rock with the entire body. You're just moving with your ankles. You're one with your ankle. Okay, now going the other direction. Okay, how was it?
Good.
Good?
Yep.
Let's switch. Say hello. And don't stick them in too far where it's just, if if your foot doesn't allow you to go in that far, just stop at the tip, or maybe just do 2 toes first, or you could just hold on to the toe area like this, like in the metatarsal area, and you could do this too. If doing this is too much, you could go this way. But if you can go in comfortably, okay, do the circles 8 times. Nice and slow. Move with entire body. Go the other way. Okay. How you doing? Good? Okay. Good. Let's work on the bottom of your foot. Okay. So now you have to go sideways so you could access the bottom. Okay. And I am adding a little more lotion. Make sure you're warming it. And put, just apply this on the bottom. Make sure you're getting into the base of your toes, bottom of your toes, and your heels. Okay, so remember the reflexology chart that we looked at last week. So basically, I'm just lifting up the one leg, but this is like a head area inside, because two feet put together is like one body, right? So the mid part, this is in internal organ section, right? So, and this part, this is the chest area, this is the head area. Outside, this is the shoulder area, and this is like the pelvis area. And so this arch part is the internal organ, and the spine, no, spine is more here. And the around the arch is the large intestine, inside the small intestine, the stomach. Stomach is like right here. So let's work on the arch. So arch is just, it feels good to massage anyway. So use the fist. I don't really recommend using your heels of your palm. When you do that, when you apply pressure by doing that, see how this is bent? And that's again, that's not good. That's not good for your joint health. So make sure whatever you're doing, you're keeping your wrist straight. And also when you're using the thumb, make sure you're not doing when you're not doing this, but use your knuckles or use the other finger to support, or use both thumbs. Whatever you're doing, make sure your joints, you're not hurting your joints. So using the fist, you could go in You can't see it here. You can go from the top towards your heel. Push down. And this one, I am just kind of leaning onto it. So not much of your hand movement, but I'm leaning onto my foot. And because of the lubrication from the butter, it just, by leaning onto it, it just slides. You just have to direct which way to go. Okay. So think about the direction, angles, to protect your body and protect your joint. So if you're going more outer part of the arch, just go out with your elbow and push in, but make sure you're keeping your wrist straight. Okay. Let's work on the other foot. Apply the lotion, the bottom of your toes. And use the fist, top to bottom. So the direction, because that's, you normally, general rule is that you want to move stuff or go from the distal to proximal. So distal in, right? Instead of pushing out, nothing can go, I mean, that's the end of the road. And so move from the tip towards the base. So towards your heel up towards your knee, right? Knee towards up to your torso. So that's the general rule, is to move from the distal to proximal. Okay. So that's the, yeah, and the reflexology, it makes sense in the reflexology wise too, right? Because that's the top of your, that's the chest area, and that's where everything drains. So it's good to go this way, right? All right. Any questions so far? Any anything? Questions? Is that the hand, Linda? Go ahead.
Oh, I was wondering how much pressure to push.
Yes. So that's very, very, very good question. So don't push to, you know, when you're getting massage, you don't want to get hurt good point. And again, remember when the when there's a tight muscle, when you try to push onto or put pressure on a tight muscle, the muscle wants to protect itself. So it tightens even more. So when you feel when you're working on the knot on anywhere, you probably may not have much in your feet, but you want to sink in. You want to think about sinking into that tight muscle. So you want to let the muscle kind of accept your pressure, right? So you don't want to, you want to just gently sink in. So you want to feel like you're sinking in. So you are gently, so instead of going really, really hard, you want to sink in first and let your muscle kind of, you know, get used to the pressure, and then you can just start to slide. So you need to have some pressure, but not like even hurts good, might be a little too much. But it's between, if you're just doing this, it may not do much. But the initial pressure is just a touch on your skin and gradually, gently sink in.
Cool question. So if let's say, for example, you have a tender part, so
Mhm.
like in my inner arch, for example,
Mm-hmm.
does that, I guess that part, that at least means that there's tightness in that area, but
Mhm.
does it also correspond to, like, that's the stomach, right? So does that correspond to, like, which is it, or both?
It's see, I don't know much about the reflexology, but that is the reflexology spot for the stomach. So it could be the stomach issues, but you know how we're on our feet a lot and the arch muscles works really hard to keep us, standing and balanced. So, it could be just a very tight spot on your arch. Um, if if you are walking with the soft sole on your shoes, your arch works a little bit harder. So it's all depends. So yeah, I don't know if that answers the question, but
Mhm.
maybe not.
No, yeah.
So what are we doing? So let's go up on your feet to the legs. Yeah. Oh, are we good now for the feet? Any questions? Are we doing good? Okay. So let's go up let's explore ankle to the knee. So there's the ankle, there's the kneecap, the bottom of the kneecap, the bony part, right? And you feel the ridge, right? So that's the ridge of the tibialis, right? And outer part, this meaty part, that's your tibialis. And you don't have much meat here, and it just becomes your calf. Yeah. Okay. So, and these guys get really tired too. So let's work on. We're gonna end up really moisturized legs. Okay. So put the lotion on. And let's start from the ankle area. And there are, as we saw, the major points are, all these, we saw all the lines, and a lot of points around the ankle area has very significant role in the acupuncture. So it's always good to work around your joints, around your ankles. So let's work around so that's medial malleolus and that's lateral malleolus. Make sure you have enough stuff in your fingers and just kind of go around the malleoli. So if you're flexible enough to go here, you could go this way, or you could go this way. Make sure you can go in between, go both side. And feel around the muscles, tendons, And the ankle joints are very intricate. And also work inside. That's your hips and pelvis area. Inside. And also that's where the kidney and liver channel runs. I guess in the spleen too. And outside, in reflexology sense, that's the hip area. And the GB, the gallbladder and the urinary bladder area in the meridian wide. So this goes up along the side of the body and the back of the body. Okay, so now let's work on, so that's the meaty part of your shin. So I would use like this part. Push in and you can drag fingers up. Or you could work the small sections first. So you can go sink in, pull up, sink in, pull up, or just stay there and just kind of shake and let it sink in. Whatever it works, and just work with, you know, sometimes one side is more tighter, or one day you might get a little tighter spot. But always make sure you're staying on the meaty part. And when you're working, when you find a spot that you really want to focus on, you could use your thumbs, but make sure it's this way, never this way. Okay, it's this way. And kind of right below your kneecap, it's like maybe like 3 fingers down. These are like really good point, like a general health point in your stomach channel. So these won't hurt to just keep pressing. Okay. Now it's just gently from the bottom part to the top part. And this part, it doesn't really have, and sometimes it's painful, but you feel the edge of the edge between the bone, which it's kind of hard to press, and you bring your fingers down where the edge between the muscles and the bone. You could just kind of gently, this one can be painful. Okay, so you could just push and push down and pull, push down and pull, or whatever you're comfortable with. You could sink in with, again, with this flat part of your hand, push in first and pull up. Push in and pull up. Sink in and pull up. Okay. Ready to do the same thing on the other side?
Akiyo, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Sandra, why is it typically more painful there than on the other side?
Because it's for me is, well, I think it's less meat, first of all, right? This part you can't quite dig into deeply to the bone. Here is there's bone right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that was true for me. It was a little more painful.
Mm-hmm.
And what are the meridians that run up the painful side, the inside?
It's the liver, spleen,
That might have something to do with it.
kidney. Women tend to have because spleen, liver, the menstrual blood is made in kidneys, so women tend to have like more issues with the liver and spleen. Yeah. But I think the modern people we all have like spleen and stomach issues. So, I mean, the channel wise, it makes sense, but I think it just have more, the inner thigh is more sensitive, right?
Mhm.
There's more bigger nerves runs there. So I think that's why in biomedicine reason.
Thank you.
Hmm. But I think, yeah. See, like you have bigger muscles too. So if you go to the calf area, it's like if you have a tight calf, you might. So the calf, did that answer your question? So
Yes, it did. Thank you.
okay, good. Okay, so the calf, you could just do this. It's a big muscle. And again, squeeze and lift, squeeze and pull up. And the calf is the second heart, right? Okay. Let's switch. Okay, so the ankle to the knee. And start at the ankle. And really focus on the areas all around the malleoli and all the little tiny spots in between the bones and muscles and ligaments. And inside of the heel, outside. And now just all the way up toward the bottom leg. And use this part on your tibialis, the hardy part of the lower leg. So find where the meaty part starts, push in, sink in. You can go straight up gently, or you can go sink in and lift in small sections. When you push, apply pressure. Use the body and pull. So you want to move, you want to work with your arms and hands. Okay. And remember, when you're using your thumbs, never this way but together and bend. So push this way and lean into it. And again, the spot, so Here is the bottom of the kneecap, and you feel the bump right below the bump, and again where your tibia kind of flares up right before it gets there. So this is like the meatiest part of your tibialis, and you can also feel on the side, that's the head of fibula. So between this section, it's the meaty part of the section, this is somebody's getting extra massage. That's nice. Somebody's getting double massage. So that's, again, this area is the general health spot. So you can always, it doesn't hurt to press this all the time. It's for abdominal, immune, energy. Okay. And the inside part. So gentler. So between the bone and the meat. So you want to either work on the small sections. And you could just work your calf. Squeeze and lift. Squeeze and pull. Okay. I think that's enough massage for today.
That's why we pay others to do it.
But those are there's another actually I could do some thigh stuff that's a little bit easier. You're not going to be working on your feet on your with your hands. But any questions so far? Did it work? Did you guys like it?
Felt good, thank you.
Good.
It really hit some very sore spots with me.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have some missing ligaments or something in my legs, congenital. So I always had corrective shoes. And so my parents always had to come in and rub my legs. Plus, we all grew very tall, very quick. So we always had shin splits, just always, because we grew so fast. Or anyway, is this something that you could do daily or more than once a day? Because I'm thinking, and I am interested in learning the thigh because I have some nerve damage in from sciatica and herniated discs. So anytime that I can bring, it hurts. I don't know, it's like it hurts and it's numb at the same time.
So if you have a nerve damage, you really want to be gentle.
Yeah.
So you have impaired feeling.
Yeah.
So you want to be gentle, but it's good to keep stimulating that area too, right?
Yeah.
So so you will, I think you will, by working on your body, you will find a right way to touch and right way to stimulate, I think. So the thighs are, I am going to lift this up a little more. Okay, this is easier than what we worked on. Can you see me?
Okay.
All you're gonna do is you're sitting down.
Yep.
You are going to use this area of your forearm, and again, make sure you're not using the elbows. That hurts. Okay, you are just gonna align yourself. So, and on the, where you bent right here, start here and just kind of lean into it. Gently lean into it and gently let go. Push in, and you could just work this area, but you want to find a good position for yourself. And you could also add a little bit of a press and roll out. Press and roll out. But again, make sure, the inner thigh part is very sensitive. It has a lot of nerves and veins and arteries running, so be careful. So just kind of loosening the top end first. And if it's comfortable, you can do this sitting up on the bed before you go to sleep or first thing you're up, or you could also do this with your feet up. So when you have your feet up and knee out, you can work a little more again on the inner part. And closer to the knee, make sure you're not pushing on your hip area, but your muscles. So here, again, general direction is from your knee towards your hip joint. So, and again, always work on the meaty part, not on the bony part. So push in. So push down and pull. So toward the knee area. So you go push in and pull towards you. Right?
Okay.
So think about sink in and up. Sink in and up. So, and you can straighten in and up. So the top, and rotate your leg a little and work the bottom. And you can just work. So lean onto it and pull. So you're not sliding, but you're sinking in and you're moving the muscle up. Is it working? Is it comfortable?
It's okay. I have, the arthritis in my knee, so I'm adjusting my
So
knee.
make sure if you need to put some pillow or cushion outside of your knee when you're working on this, or putting it under your knees. So, you want to prop your legs or prop yourself up, or just use, pillows and blankets and towels and to make sure you're secure. So you want to, make sure you're comfortable. Is that your hands up? Yes, Linda?
Thank you. It looks like you're using your arm like a rolling pin.
Yes. Yes. But instead of rolling on the surface, you are digging into the muscle. So you're pulling up. So, right. So instead of rolling, you're digging in, and as you roll, you're taking the muscle with you. Does that make sense? So that's different from just rolling on it. Yeah? Sinking in and rolling. Sinking in and rolling with it.
Thank you.
Those are all good questions. And again, the very important part of self-massage is always align yourself with, so my elbow and my shoulder is lined up. So you're not pushing, pulling. So you're moving with,
Solid.
so you're on top of where you're pushing. So it's the same thing with, when you're giving others massage, when you're pushing somebody's back this way, that's how you're going to hurt yourself. But when you're leaning onto it with, so that you're aligning yourself to where your pressure is pressing, that's the safest angle. So the thighs again, work. You could start with working the edge to loosen up. You can work the bottom in, and you can just work all over. So that's a little thigh stuff. Okay. How you guys doing?
Really good.
Good, good. Any
Yeah, yes.
Go ahead.
It's particularly on the foot massage and thigh. I mean, it'd be great, certainly good before retiring, before going to bed, it's good for circulation and all. But the main problem being in the morning, the back seems to be so tight, and to get my legs up, it's going to be very difficult. I'll give it a try, but
So if you can't do this first thing in the morning. You could do the ankle circles, right? So let's say first in the morning, and you may not want to, get into, to get into the foot, but you could start with, when you're lying, you can go up and down. You could go alternative. See how this, so see how 1.1 flex, see how that moves your hips
oh, I see,
this
alternately.
way. So that's a good way to add. So you could start with moving together, right? And you could go in and out toward each other, out, or you can go one side to the other side. You could do this. You could do the circles one way, or you could go in this way. You can play with it.
One further question: when you're pumping the gas, or when you're bringing your toe up to the heavens, my knee has a tendency to come up.
That's okay.
That's okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. If you could, yeah, that's okay. I mean, you wanna let everything kind of follow.
All right.
The movement. You do not want to lock your knees anyway. Okay. And you can always do wiggling your toes.
All right. Thank you. Very good.
Remember our favorite exercise?
Yeah, right. Very good.
Pulling the towel.
Yeah, I've been doing that.
Good, great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny in a way, but it's
yes, it is funny.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking that I'm moving, but toes are not moving as I want them to, right?
Yeah, and always one side it's never even, because one side is always stronger pull.
Yes. All right.
Thanks, Vic.
Any other questions? Nay, go ahead. Oh, you're muted. Hold on, you're muted. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
I discovered something. I always felt my left leg or left foot is always tired.
You're
And I just did surgery all the time. But then I discovered when you're doing the arch for the foot, that was really sore. And if I really massage it with this, with this part, then maybe if I feel that tired, then maybe I just do that next time.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Maybe that was
Because this, somebody disappeared. So the arch kind of does this, and you know how that affects your knees too, right? So you could also work on your, did we do this? We did the, can you see me? Pulling up, lifting the arch, lifting your toes, lifting arch, lifting your toes. So
Very
so you could do that too. When if it's just it's hard to work on your feet. So that's your knee. So the knee, the working the we worked on this side and this side, just keeping those loose. I mean not loose, but keeping them working and getting the circulation around your knee area is always a good thing. It's like to work on the rolling right above your knees, but not on your knees, but to work your quads right above your knees are good. And getting these working is good, and it's easier to reach here than your feet, right? Yeah, does that answer your question?
It does.
Okay, good. Linda?
And what do you do? I noticed you said earlier you got a cramp in your foot. What do you do when you get a cramp? Is massaging it a good technique, or is there something else?
You don't want to, when you get a cramp, you don't want to stretch it, right? Because when we used to, like when you get Charlie horses, you have to stretch your calf. Do not do that, because again, when you are, the cramping is the defense mechanism of the muscles, and the muscles only know how to tighten and relax. So you don't want to force it, because there's the reason that your muscle think you need to contract. So you want to warm it first, and it just kind of getting that warmed up and massage the muscles, but never force it to go the other way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
That was a good exercise.
Good.
Good class. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So next week we can do more of the foot stuff, and we can also do the head stuff, the face stuff. Any self-massage technique you guys want to practice?
You were talking about the eyes.
Mm-hmm. The eye exercises.
Eyes. I don't know. You mentioned doing the eyes today.
Oh, we were. I guess we weren't.
About back.
Okay, the eyes next week.
Did we do back? I can't remember. Back. Did we do back?
the eyes have it next week.
Okay.
How about the head?
The
Yes,
head, we can do head and neck. The back is really hard because we can't reach it. We could work on the distal points and the opposing muscle points to work on address your back.
No, I'm talking about your head.
And your head, yes. We'll work on the it's like the head massage stuff that we did.
Did we do that?
Yeah, we did that like a couple weeks ago. but we could do that. Thank you. So, okay, eyes, head, and the back next week.
And neck, and neck.
And neck, yes. Neck. So it's all kind of goes from the head to the neck to the back to the shoulders.
Perfect.
Okay.
Great class.
Next week. Next week.
Okay.
Good class, Akio.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, Akio.
Bye. Before you eat.
Bye.
Bye. Take
Bye.
care.
Thank you.
Have a nice week.
You too. Bye.